What's going on, filmmakers? I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. I just got back from 3 weeks of shooting for another Netflix film, and I'm super excited, but I'm also very tired. We had some very intense few weeks shooting for this film. We had a lot of difficulties, we had a lot of issues with the weather, but overall we managed to get it through, and it turns out really crazy. Now, this Netflix film that we are shooting, because we still have a few days of shooting, it's an action film packed with a lot of crazy stuff: explosion, car chases, guns, and it's gonna be super mad. Now, what I'm really excited about is that we shot this entire Netflix film in English, so you will be able to watch it. The previous Netflix film that we shot was in Romanian, so it's gonna be harder for a broader audience to watch it. But this one is gonna be in English. We used top actors, like we had actors from USA, from Spain. We used actors from Netflix Money Heist, which was one of the craziest shows in the world. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about, because we're still shooting this Netflix film, I cannot show you a lot of behind the scenes. I can talk a little bit about the camera that we used, which are 3 cameras. So for this Netflix film, I wanted to have a little bit of a different approach to it. So on my previous Netflix film that we shot, I used the Sony Burano as an A cam and the Rooney for the 8K as a B cam. So we had 2 camera systems, which were very easy to match. The Sony Burano matches very beautiful with the Rooney for the 8K. I think they are like really good together. But for this film, I wanted to try and use a different camera system, because I've been shooting with the Pixis 6K for some time now, and I really love the color science, and I really love how the Blackmagic RAW from Blackmagic grades. It's so beautiful. The skin tones look amazing. So I wanted to explore how it is to shoot a film on a Blackmagic camera. And so I looked into the Blackmagic Ursa Cine LF 12K, which is their brand new full frame 12K camera. The thing is, this camera has a totally redesigned sensor at its core, and the images on this camera, guys, look absolutely amazing. The amount of dynamic range that you have with this camera is something that I have not explored until now. So this camera was very intrigued to me. So we used the Blackmagic Cine LF as an A cam. We used the Rooney for the 8K as a B cam, which is probably one of the most used cameras in this movie, because we had such a tight schedule. We had so many scenes that we had to cover. We used the Rooney for the 8K quite a lot, because it's a camera that you work very fast with it. You don't need a slider, or you don't need a dolly track, or you don't need anything like this, because this camera is so steady. And our C camera was the Pixis 6K, which we used in very tight spaces, or on car rigs, or on other systems where we needed a smaller camera body. Now, before moving forward, I want to show you something that is totally revolutionary and mind-blowing. So as you know, I've been using Artlist quite a lot in terms of music, sound effects, stock footage, and a lot of other stuff like VFX and also sound design. Now, Artlist has been a huge contribution to my creative process, and now they have something totally revolutionary. They just introduced AI image and video, which is totally crazy. You can now create videos from your own mind using Artlist. So let me show you how it works. You basically write a prompt, you can enhance it using AI, and then you hit generate, and it generates a photo at its first glance. And this photo, then you can animate it based on your prompt. And what's really cool is that also the prompts that you get are, let's say, improved using AI. So you don't have to be a mastermind writing anything that you're doing. Of course, you can add your own inputs in terms of like prompts and anything like that. But now imagine the possibilities that you have. Let's say, for example, you're searching for some stock footage and you cannot find anything that relates with what you have in your mind. Now you can create it from scratch and you can have a result that looks like a movie scene. I created a few shots. For example, I created this one with the old man that sits in a truck and looks really, really cool. And now I created this one with a sniper. And what's really cool, you can also create different kind of resolution. You have up to 180p in full HD. And as you can see, the video looks really, really cool. The reflection in the water, the movement and everything is really nice. What's really cool is that you also have a ton of different styles in which you can create these AI videos or photos. And why I think this is totally revolutionary is that, for example, let's say you work with a brand and you want to get creative posts on Instagram or on social media or YouTube, you can create videos out of simple prompts, which is crazy, and you can earn money out of doing this, which is also another thing. So for example, there's a lot of different like pages or different kind of like Instagram accounts that create content using AI, and then they monetize this pages and they end up making a ton of money. So as you can see, this new stuff from Artlist is extremely practical and also super fun. I can see me using this stuff just for fun and just creating new stuff from my mind, which is totally nice. Although I think you need a little bit of practice to get what you want. So that's why I suggest getting it on Artlist and start practicing now, because this is gonna get bigger and bigger. And I think as much as Artlist gets new stock footage and new footage on their platform, their AI model is gonna get better and better, because I think their AI model is trained based on the stock footage they have, and they seem to have one of the best stock footage I've seen on any platform. So I think this is gonna get better and better, and this is just the beginning. And so far, the beginning looks absolutely great. Now, back to our review. All right, so now back to our behind the scenes video. One thing that I wanna mention is that for this Netflix film, I wanted to make the craziest behind the scenes video I have ever made. I put with me my Sony FX3, my Insta360, my GoPros, my everything that I had, even my Meta glasses, and I said, I'm gonna film so much behind the scenes footage on this one that I gotta have content for years. And guess what? I haven't even opened my behind the scenes bag because I was so focused on getting the perfect shot. I was so focused on creating the best footage possible that I couldn't focus on getting behind the scenes. Although I was super lucky that we had a behind the scenes crew that managed to capture the footage that you saw so far, and they have a lot more, so they're gonna send it over in a few days. Although I cannot use a lot of behind the scenes footage because it's gonna spoil a lot of the action. Like I told you, this script is very like this, and it has a lot of twists and a lot of things that I don't know exactly what to show in order to not spoil the action. Now, one thing that I want to do in this video right now is I want to show you exactly how powerful the Blackmagic Cine LF 12K is, because this camera is absolutely incredible. It packs 16 stops of dynamic range. Like, I want to put it side by side with my Sony FX3 because this is the camera that I use pretty much daily, and I want to see how it compares. So let's do that. All right, so this is probably one of the most difficult dynamic range situations you might be in. Outside, there is a lot of light and we are in a very dark room. And as you can see, there's quite a big contrast between myself and the back window. So this is how the exposure looks without having a light. As you can see, this light hits me a little bit here, but I will have to put it in front to balance with that. So now we're gonna go onto the Ursa and we're gonna see how different it looks than this one, right? By the way, this is my little boy, Riri, and he's a sweetheart. All right, so now we are on the Pixis 12K, and let me know, what do you think about the dynamic range differences? Isn't this crazy? Now, obviously, I'm gonna do an in-depth review of this camera and I'm gonna talk more about it, but so far, I have to get back to shooting. And after I'm done shooting this film, I'm definitely gonna talk more in depth about how it was using this camera and all of the benefits and cons that I got with this insane camera. Until next time, I'm Alexander Don, and thanks a lot for watching. Peace!